Do you want to change your life? Do you want to finally break free from the heavy, suffocating stagnation, the endless loops of anxiety, and the persistent shadow of scarcity that seems to follow you no matter how hard you work? If you are nodding yes, then you must understand the most fundamental truth of your existence. You must begin by raising your vibration. Everything in this universe vibrates. Everything, without a single exception. You are vibrating right now as you listen to my voice. Your physical cells vibrate, your passing thoughts vibrate, your deep-seated emotions vibrate. And it is this exact, precise vibration that determines absolutely everything you experience in your physical, material reality. Vibration is the fundamental language of creation. It does not matter how many books you study, how many hours you spend in prayer, or how intensely you try to visualize your goals. If your baseline vibration remains low, dense, and anchored in fear, nothing happens, nothing flows, nothing manifests. You are trying to broadcast a high-definition signal using a broken, rusted antenna. Vibration is the cause. Everything else in your life is merely the consequence. If you are ready to stop fighting the illusion of the material world and finally learn how the architecture of reality actually works, I invite you to subscribe to this channel right now. Join the few who are finally waking up, the ones who are ready to take absolute responsibility for the energy they project into the quantum field. Now, let us look at the invisible mechanics of your reality. There are three forces in this universe capable of transforming your frequency immediately. They are not new concepts. They are as ancient as the world itself, woven into the very fabric of existence. Yet they are entirely neglected, misunderstood, and misused by almost everyone you know. These forces are love, forgiveness, and gratitude. I need you to strip away everything you think you know about these words. These are not cute concepts meant to be printed on social media posts. They are not poetic ideas for greeting cards. They are alchemical keys. They are literal forces of quantum transmutation. If you strip away your self-deception and actually apply these three forces to your life, to your work, to your relationships, to your financial state, and to your emotional body, you will watch the impossible happen right in front of your eyes. But it must be done correctly, with absolute, unflinching honesty. Let us begin with the first force, love. You must understand something right now, and you must understand it deeply. Love is not a feeling. Love is a vibrational state. It is the underlying energetic field that sustains the entire universe. It is the precise energetic signature of the quantum vacuum itself. Everything is born from it, and everything is held together by it. But what has humanity done with this profound force? We have reduced it to neediness. We have reduced it to passion, to the desperate seeking of validation, to the craving for someone else's approval. We have turned love into an emotional currency, a transaction. People say, "I will only love you if you do this for me. I will only love you if you never disappoint me. I will only love you if you meet all of my unrealistic expectations and fill the empty void inside my own chest." That is not love. That is parasitism. That is deep, unhealed dependence. It does not even come close to the frequency of love. Love, in its pure, unadulterated vibration, is entirely unconditional. It does not depend on the approval of another person. It does not depend on what the other person does or fails to do. It simply is. The closest thing we have in the human experience to this pure frequency is the genuine love of a mother for her child, assuming, of course, that the mother is operating from the light of the mother archetype and not from the shadow of control. True love does not ask for a return on investment. When you enter this frequency of unconditional love, You instantly align yourself with the source, and in that perfect alignment, everything in your life begins to organize itself. Do you want to prosper in your career? Do you want your work to bring you wealth and fulfillment? Then you must work in the vibration of love. You cannot work out of obligation. You cannot work out of a desperate panic for survival. You must work with presence. You must work with surrender, with a deep consciousness of the impact of what you are doing, no matter how small the task may seem. The universe does not respond to your job title. It does not respond to the function you perform. It responds exclusively to the vibration with which that function is executed. You have been sold the lie that says, "I will finally be happy when I grow professionally and make a lot of money." It is the exact opposite. You will only grow professionally and attract true wealth when you are happy first. Happiness comes first because true happiness is nothing more than your body and mind filled with the love of the whole. Do you want to have healthy, nourishing relationships? Then you must step out of your dependency. Stop demanding that another human being fill the internal black hole that you refuse to look at. Take responsibility for your own healing. Do the inner work. Face your shadows. And then, from a place of wholeness, love. Love with absolute lucidity. Love without possessiveness, without playing the victim, without keeping score. True love does not control. It does not accuse. It does not demand. It simply exists as a radiant field of energy, and by its very nature, it transforms everything it touches. If you try to build a life from a vibration of lack masquerading as love, the foundation will always crumble. Now we move to the second force, the one that requires the most profound internal strength to master: forgiveness. Here lies one of the greatest, most stubborn blockages of the human race. The average human being would rather cling tightly to their hatred than be liberated by forgiveness. They would rather spend decades justifying their pain than spend a single moment dissolving it. They prefer the intoxicating, self-righteous feeling of being right over the expansive peace of being free. And by making this choice, they freeze their frequency in an incredibly low, dense state of suffering. Listen to me very carefully. Forgiving someone is not approving of what they did to you. Forgiveness has absolutely nothing to do with the other person. The other person does not even need to know that you have forgiven them. Forgiveness is the act of taking a metaphysical pair of scissors and cutting the vibrational cord that is still tying you to that traumatic event. It is the deliberate, conscious decision to step out of the energetic field of the victim and take your power back. If you hold on to grudges against former bosses, colleagues, or business partners, you are keeping your energy tethered to the past. Because your energy is locked in a past event, there is no vibrational space for anything new to enter your life. You wonder why your career is stagnant, why the money is not flowing, why the opportunities never seem to reach you. It is because your hands are too full of old resentments to catch the new blessings. In your romantic relationships, refusing to forgive means you are forcing your body to relive the wound every single day. The brain does not know the difference between an event that is happening right now and a memory you are vividly recalling with strong emotion. Every time you think about the betrayal, your body produces the exact same stress chemistry it did when the event first occurred. The body feels it, the mind repeats it, the quantum field records it, and your life remains completely stuck in a loop of pain. And then there is the most difficult forgiveness of all, the one that requires a fierce, almost terrifying courage: self-forgiveness. In the realm of finances and wealth, do you have any idea how many brilliant, capable people are completely blocked because they refuse to forgive themselves? They carry the heavy, suffocating frequencies of guilt, shame, and anger for the bad investments they made, the opportunities they missed, or the money they lost years ago. Guilt is one of the lowest frequencies on the human consciousness scale. It completely shuts down all channels of abundance. You cannot receive wealth if you subconsciously believe you deserve to be punished. If you suffer from chronic anxiety, self-forgiveness is the master key. You will never stop sabotaging your own success as long as you continue to judge yourself with such merciless cruelty. What the majority of people fail to understand is that forgiveness is not an act of moral weakness. It is an act of supreme vibrational intelligence. The person who refuses to forgive is literally swallowing poison and expecting the other person to die. When you hold on to resentment, your body becomes acidic. It begins to produce toxins. Your immune system weakens, your energy collapses, and eventually, the physical body manifests this blocked vibration as disease. The universe will send you clear, undeniable signals that your energy is blocked. Sudden illnesses, financial crises, unexpected losses, endless cycles of scarcity. All of these are simply the three-dimensional reflections of a vibration that refuses to flow. You must let it go. The third powerful force is gratitude. And just like love and forgiveness, very few people actually understand the true, raw power of gratitude. The modern self-help industry has turned gratitude into a mechanical ritual. People wake up, write a little list of 5 things they are grateful for, repeat some hollow affirmations in the mirror, and then spend the next 16 hours internally complaining about their jobs, their bodies, their spouses, and the state of the world. That is not gratitude. That is a simulation. That is pure self-deception, and the universe is not fooled by it. The quantum field does not listen to what you write in your journal. It listens to the electromagnetic pulse of your heart. True gratitude is a profound, uninterrupted state of reverence for life. It is the shocking realization that you have received the absolute miracle of existence. You receive, every single morning, the blessing of waking up, of drawing breath into your lungs, of having one more day, one more chance to experience this reality. How can you not be brought to your knees by that? If you cannot find authentic, burning gratitude for the simple fact that you are alive, if you spend your days complaining about the inconveniences of your life, how do you expect to generate enough vibrational momentum to take the next step? You cannot demand the keys to the kingdom when you are ungrateful for the breath in your lungs. Giving thanks is the ultimate mechanism of creation. It does not matter what is happening in the external world. Your bank account could be empty, your body could be healing, your life could look like chaos. But when you manage to vibrate authentic gratitude anyway, you immediately enter into coherence with the field of creation. Gratitude is the biological signature of receiving. When you feel grateful, your body believes the blessing has already occurred. And because the universe is a flawless mirror, it must begin to reorganize physical matter to reflect that gratitude back to you. Gratitude is recognition, and whatever you recognize expands. You give thanks, and the universe gives you more to be thankful for. It is a very simple, elegant, mathematical law. Now you must understand a crucial mechanism regarding these 3 forces. They only work when they are integrated together. Love without forgiveness eventually turns into toxic attachment. Forgiveness without gratitude turns into cold, bitter indifference. And gratitude without love is simply impossible. It becomes a hollow performance. But when you weave these 3 forces together into the fabric of your daily life, you catapult yourself into an entirely new vibrational bandwidth. And in this higher frequency, reality responds differently. It is inevitable. It is not magic, it is the fundamental physics of the universe. Everything is vibration. Everything you have ever wanted to experience, the wealth, the profound peace, the explosive joy, the deep fulfillment, the massive achievements, all of it already exists in the quantum field in absolute abundance. It is simply vibrating at a higher frequency than the one you are currently occupying. You can only access it when you elevate your own frequency to match it. It is simple, but it demands absolute dedication. You have to do the work. There is another incredibly important truth you must face as you begin this process. You must become deeply aware of the fact that if you are vibrating at a low frequency right now, your energy field is currently contaminating the people, the situations, and the environments around you that resonate with that density. And here is the harsh reality. When you decide to use love, forgiveness, and gratitude to pull yourself out of the mud, when your frequency begins to rise, everything in your life that is not in resonance with that new, higher vibration is going to be aggressively pushed out of your reality. You will literally lose the energetic focus for it. People who thrive on drama, situations that keep you small, jobs that drain your soul, they will begin to dissipate, sometimes very suddenly and painfully. This is why, so often, when a person begins to truly grow and awaken, their relationships fall apart. A marriage or a partnership is a very potent, very volatile energetic bond. The true energetic purpose of a relationship is to combine power, to pull each other upward into higher states of consciousness. But if one person is vibrating low and refuses to heal, they run the severe risk of dragging the other person down. It is not always malicious. It is an unconscious survival mechanism. The person vibrating at the lower frequency will instinctively try to pull you back down to their level, because that is where they feel safe. So, if you set a real, uncompromising goal to elevate your vibration and you begin to rise, the bond stretches. If the other person does not wake up, take your hand and choose to rise with you. The bond will snap. It has to. You cannot hold on to the decaying structure of the old world while simultaneously trying to enter the new one. It is energetically incongruent. It causes a violent internal conflict. This is exactly why so many people begin the journey of awakening. They start to raise their vibration. Their life begins to shift. The necessary destruction of the old reality begins, the catharsis, and they panic. They drop the tools, abandon the process, and run back to their initial state of suffering. They do this because they begin to feel like they are losing control. But it is not the true self that is losing control. It is the ego. When you raise your vibration, your ego loses its grip on you. It can no longer limit you. It can no longer control you through the fear of the future or the guilt of the past. A poorly managed, undisciplined ego wants to dominate your reality. Now, if you study the basics of psychology, you will understand that you cannot and should not eliminate the ego. The ego is a psychological construct, a necessary tool for navigating this three-dimensional reality. But you must discipline it. You must master it. You must transform your ego from a wild, fearful dictator into a trained, loyal guardian. You have an enormous power at your disposal, a colossal force within you, but it must not rule you. You must rule it. This is not an easy process. The moment you mess with the ego's control, it resists fiercely. It will inject fear into your mind. It will make you self-sabotage. It will tempt you to return to your old, familiar patterns of lack and argument. It will convince you to pretend that you tried the spiritual path and it simply didn't work. Have you ever heard someone say, or perhaps said yourself, "I tried everything I could. I thought positive. I mediated, but nothing worked out for me"? That is the ego talking. It is the ego justifying its own retreat. If you were to translate the language of the ego in that moment, what it is actually saying is, "I tried, but the moment I faced the first real uncomfortable shedding of my old life, I gave up." Raising your vibration is a profound call to spiritual maturity. It is the initiation into true freedom. But true freedom terrifies the person who is still secretly attached to their suffering. So, if you have listened to me this far, I am telling you with absolute clarity that the time for choosing has arrived. Are you going to continue justifying the narratives, the grudges, and the fears that keep you imprisoned? Or are you going to start today applying these three forces in your life? Love, forgiveness, gratitude. Not in theory, not just while you are meditating in a quiet room, but in practice, in the fire of your daily life, in every single thought you allow to take root, in every word that leaves your mouth, in every action you take. It does not matter how many degrees you have. It does not matter how many manifestation techniques you have memorized. It does not matter how many spiritual books sit on your shelf. If your daily, moment-to-moment vibration remains low and reactive, absolutely nothing in your material world will change. But if you put these three forces into motion through your own sheer will, with consistency, with unbreakable firmness, and with raw truth, the entire universe will reorganize itself around you. The people will change. The opportunities will change. The numbers in your bank account will change. I am not telling you this will happen overnight. You have spent decades building the neural pathways of your current reality. It will take time to wire the new ones. It is a process. The question is, are you committed to the process? Are you willing to walk through the fire of your own transformation? If you are, I want you to go to the comments below right now and declare it. Type the words, "I commit to my vibration." Commitment is a word of immense power. When you marry someone, you make a vow, a commitment. To make a commitment to your own soul, to vow to protect your own frequency, is the most potent marriage you will ever enter. If you do this, your life will not just change, it will expand beyond your current capacity to imagine. The reality you perceive with your physical eyes is nothing more than a delayed reflection of the vibration you have been sustaining. This is not cheap philosophy. When you truly grasp this, your life reaches an extraordinary level of mastery. This is the language of physics. Max Planck, the father of quantum theory, famously stated that there is no matter as such. All matter originates and exists only by virtue of a force that brings the particle of an atom to vibration. He said we must assume behind this force the existence of a conscious and intelligent mind. This matrix, this field, responds perfectly to the frequency of your consciousness. The higher your frequency, the more coherent, harmonious, and abundant the physical reality you experience must be. To raise your frequency is simply to step out of the dense, heavy field of survival, victimhood, and suffering, and to step into the expansive, limitless field of creation. It is to shift your identity away from the fragile ego and into the recognition of your eternal essence. Joe Dispenza, the brilliant neuroscientist and researcher, has proven time and time again through brain scans and blood tests how elevated emotional states like unconditional love, deep gratitude, and true forgiveness literally alter human brain chemistry. They rewire our neural networks. They upregulate genes that heal the body and downregulate genes that cause disease. What you feel on a daily basis is completely molding your biological body and your external destiny. David Bohm, the theoretical physicist who worked alongside Einstein, taught that the universe is a profoundly interconnected hologram, and that the fragmented, isolated way human beings think is the root cause of all our suffering. In other words, suffering is simply the illusion of separation. When you use love, forgiveness, and gratitude to enter higher states of vibration, this illusion of separation dissolves. You stop fighting the world. You begin to perceive that absolutely everything is connected, that nothing is working against you, that the universe is not punishing you. It is merely echoing the exact frequency you have been broadcasting. Have you ever wondered why certain people seem to glide through life attracting miracles, synchronicities, and wealth, while others are trapped in endless, grinding cycles of pain and bad luck? It is not chance. It is not that God favors one over the other. It is pure resonance. When you understand resonance, the game of life completely changes. The people who access the highest levels of abundance are not necessarily smarter, and they are certainly not more spiritual in a performative way. They have simply learned how to discipline their minds and align their thoughts and feelings with the quantum field. I want you to examine your life honestly. How have you been feeling the moment you wake up? What is the dominant emotion that dictates your days? Do you walk into your workplace vibrating with dread, fear, and obligation? Do you talk to your family vibrating with hidden judgment and resentment? Do you look at your own body in the mirror vibrating with guilt and disgust? Or do you wake up with fierce intention? Do you anchor yourself in the present moment and consciously choose your vibration before your feet even touch the floor? You can study all the esoteric traditions in the world. You can learn every secret society's manifestation technique. But if you do not change your daily emotional vibration, nothing will ever change, because the universe is deaf to your words. As Nikola Tesla profoundly stated, if you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. The energy you emit is your true currency. It is your resume. It is your undeniable signature in the quantum field. And the greatest news you will ever hear is this: that signature can be altered right now, at any moment, on any given day, completely independent of what has happened to you in your past. You are not the trauma that happened to you. You are the frequency you choose to sustain in response to what happened to you. So I leave you with the ultimate question. What vibration are you willing to sustain from this moment forward? Not just for a fleeting moment when you are relaxed, not just when everything in your life is going perfectly, but right now, in the middle of your challenges, in the middle of the chaos, in the middle of your deepest doubts. Because that is where the true alchemy happens. That is where your transformation begins. Do not let these words be just another video you consumed and forgot. Take action. Master your ego. Embody love, offer forgiveness, and radiate gratitude. Write your commitment in the comments, protect your frequency with everything you have, and watch as the physical world bows to the new reality you have created.